Okay, so welcome to your first class in Flutter Intermediate. So I must say you all did well in your intermediate test tasks, and I'm hoping you all did it yourselves. Okay, so this is an introductory class, and I'll be introducing the curriculum, or you can call it the course overview, right? You can call it the course overview. I'll be introducing what we'll be doing from week 1 to week 12, and I'll be, like I said, like I shared earlier on the Discord channel, we'll be building an app from for every stage of this learning. We'll be building an app, and we hope by week 12 the app will be complete. Right? Okay. So if you can hear me, please give me a thumbs up. Okay. No one is responding. Oh. If you can hear me, please give me a thumbs up or mute your mic.
We can hear you. We can hear you. Go ahead.
All
We
right.
can hear you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So another thing, I want us to kind of build a rapport with ourselves. You can address me by my name, Collins. You don't have to call me, sir. Okay, so that's that. So introducing our course overview. For this first week, we'll be looking at asynchronous programming in Dart. I know we all know what asynchronous programming is from your tasks, which you turned in. A lot of asynchronous code here and there, and I was really impressed. Yes, I was really impressed. Some of you even implemented state management with Get, which is what we'll be learning. So that's good. So we're looking at asynchronous programming in that, but we won't just be covering the basics. I believe you all know the basics of asynchronous programming, right? So we'll be looking at advanced concepts. Yes, advanced concepts in asynchronous programming. And when I say advanced concepts, I mean things like how the event loop works, how the microtask queue works, and how they both relate to each other. We'll be looking at how to programmatically complete features. You know, I believe all the code you've written from till now is just use awaits here, you use awaits here, you use .then here, and attach a callback to it, right? We'll be looking at how to programmatically complete features with results or errors. Those are advanced concepts that might come in very handy for you during the course of our learning. And we're looking at streams too. Most people use features. They don't really use streams. So streams are basically asynchronous iterators, right? So we're looking at how to use them uh, to create design patterns that kind of decouple your architecture. So that's for week 1. So week 2, we're looking at object-oriented programming concepts. I believe you all know what OOP is, right? We'll be looking at encapsulation and abstraction. This is what's going to help us rather, architect our apps and these things better by separating concerns, know how to identify architectural boundaries, when to use interfaces, when to abstract things so that you can make your code modular and so you don't have to be scripting. Okay, And for week 3, we're looking at folder structure, how to structure your folder so that if you come back after 2 months, you still know what's going on. You can still dive into your code and make changes and not be overwhelmed, because one of the things that affects us as developers is you might be feeling like the ideas are coming at the moment and you're just writing it, coding it, just dumping things anywhere you want to dump it, but you don't think about maintenance, right? So folder structure helps maintenance. So we need to learn how to structure your folders. We have the feature first and layer first folder structure, and we look at this in week 3. Week 3. Okay, so for week 4, we'll dive into the state management. Like I'm sure you all know what state management is. I could see it in your tasks. We'll be diving into state management with getX, right? And with this, we'll be looking at the MVVM architecture, or in relation with state management, right? MVVM is model view model architecture for building apps, which helps you to separate concerns, separate your business logic from your data models, data sources, and decouple your business logic from UI, your user interface, right? And of course, you need to have an understanding of folder structuring and decide on folder structuring to do so you can efficiently decouple things, right? So that's state management. I'll be working with get, like I mentioned. So there's imperative and there's reactive state management. We look at these to compare these and know when to use which, and how to apply them. And for week 5 and week 6, basically is network programming, how to integrate endpoints. Basically, most of the internet programming that happens these days is it's REST APIs, right? We're looking at how to integrate REST APIs, and how to make sure the rest of your app communicates with the REST endpoints, and you decouple the architecture. We're looking at how to do all these things, right? And for this, we'll be working with the HTTP package as a starter, and we'll move on to DO package. DO package is a bit more complex with more features than the HTTP package. We compare the both of them and see which one fits your use case. Okay, so moving on. After that, after week 6, you're going to have like a base solid knowledge of how to architect applications, how to structure your folders, and how to build a product, right? So from week 7 to week 8, we'll be looking at third-party services, and we'll be using Firebase as an example, as a use case. Third-party services are any feature or functionality that is not native to your application, that you didn't write code for it yourself. It's software that's running on the internet that you're just communicating with. So those are third-party services. We look at Firebase authentication, how to use it as a custom backend, Firebase storage, and Firebase messaging. We may not really dive deep into Firebase messaging, but Firebase authentication, Firebase storage, we're going to go deep into that. And of course, all these bits are going to be adding to the application we'll be building. And I'll briefly tell us about the application we'll be building. I'll briefly tell us about the application we'll be building after going through this curriculum. So for week 9, we're writing automated tests. This is the part that most people dread so much, because after writing your software, you need to write tests that ensures that it works. So in case you change anything, you need to run that test to make sure that the functionality or feature still works. Okay, so we're writing automated tests, unit testing, and we do a little bit of widget testing, but we'll be more on the unit testing, how to write tests, right? Okay. Okay, so week 10 will be CI/CD with GitHub Actions. Basically, how to automate CI/CD pipelines with GitHub Actions. Running things when you pull from a repository, archiving, uploading to Appetize. In your task, I gave you steps for you to upload your application to Appetize and obtain a link, right? But all these things can be automated with CI/CD with GitHub Actions. So I'll be showing you how to do that, right? I know I don't need to say it, but this intermediate class, nobody's going to be teaching you how to implement user interfaces. That's for beginners. It's already assumed that you know how to do it, and from your tasks, I see that you guys know how to do it. So nobody will teach you how to use column, rows, expanded, and all the rest of them, right? But instead, what we'll be looking at is componentization and reusability. Uh, that is a part of a UI that we'll be looking at componentization and reusability for consistency, right? When you go through your Figma board, you'll be able to identify things, that are common across the screens on your Figma board, and you componentize these things. When you componentize them, if it's a complex UI, you'll be able to break them down such a way that you can reuse them. Okay, so we're looking at these things. We're looking at also function versus class widgets. Okay, and after that, and I'm hoping by this point, our app will be close to ready, if not ready. So we're looking at Google Play Console, which is the platform from which you can upload the apps to Play Store for Android devices. We're looking at App Store Connect, which is the same for iOS devices, right? We know that when it comes to this point of deploying apps to Android or iOS, a lot of people dread it because platform integrations, platform specific things, each platform has its peculiarities. Let me just use that. Okay, and navigating Android Studio and Xcode can be challenging or daunting for some people. So looking at these things, the important things you should know, the important things you should do and should look out for. Of course, be a cross-platform developer, you're not a native developer. So that is that. Okay. So with that, we are at the end of week 12. Okay. Okay, so I said we are going to be building an app through every step of this learning. So this is the time for me to describe what the app is going to be. Okay. So the application we'll be building is I want to call it Certify, but if you can come up with a better name, that's fine. So what is Certify? Certify is an application that is going to enable people that offer online certificates to be able to verify the authenticity of their certificate. Okay, so certify, for instance, if you've ever done a boot camp previously before now and you've been given a certificate, you should be able to verify the authenticity of the certificate. Your employer or anyone should be able to verify the authenticity of that certificate, right? So this application will help us learn how to integrate APIs, how to integrate third-party packages, and how to use plugins, and of course it's going to be a very hands-on project, right? Okay, so that is what Certify is about. We'll be using lots of packages, QR code, HTTP, Firebase storage, and authentication for our backend, and it's an exciting one, right? So that's the app we building for this course, for this curriculum and everything. So If you have any questions, I think now is the time to ask your questions.